Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we're going to be talking about some more details regarding Red Dead Online, because there's two places in which Rockstar have officially talked about this, on their Newswire post and with an IGN interview, and we're going to be discussing some of the details of that interview, and also looking at some things based off of what Rockstar did with Grand Theft Auto Online that they could do with Red Dead Online. So let's start with the release date. A lot of you guys have been asking about that, and well, that's because Rockstar hasn't entirely been all that clear. The only thing we know so far is that Red Dead Online is going to be launching in the month of November as a public beta. Well, we're in the month of November, so technically the release date could happen at any time. It could happen tomorrow, although I think that's unlikely. Now, if we go based off of what Rockstar did with GTA Online, it released 2 weeks after GTA 5 came out. So GTA 5 came out on a Tuesday, and then 2 weeks later on that Tuesday, which was October 1st, Grand Theft Auto Online servers launched and we saw online start to happen. So if Rockstar wants to follow the same pattern, that would mean that this Friday, we would see the launch of Red Dead Online. Now, there is no guarantee this is going to happen. That's just if Rockstar followed the exact same plan that they followed for GTA. That would be Friday, November 9th. Now, I think in order for that to happen, we would have to see new information this week, whether that's a Newswire post, whether that's a trailer, which we'll talk about a little bit later. I think those things would have to happen first. I don't think Rockstar is just going to go, hey, surprise, here's the online servers, enjoy them. I feel like we're going to get some more information first. Now, let's talk about some details that have been revealed from that IGN interview, which I will leave a link to in the description. So I'm going to be touching on all the important bullet points. Number one, Red Dead Online will have multiplayer, cooperative, and narrative components utilizing the entire map from single player. So I think this is one of the reasons why they wanted to give us that 2-week delay. They want to give you the chance to explore the entire map because it's going to utilize the entire map. So all the way from the very top of the mountains to the bottom south of New Austin, you want to be able to check out everything so that when online does arrive, you'll have a better idea of the landscape you're traversing. Now, it's also interesting to note they said multiplayer, cooperative, and narrative components. I think it's going to be very similar to the sort of last couple of DLCs we got in GTA Online. There's going to be cutscenes. There's going to be, characters that you can interact with. It's not just going to be you in a world, it's going to be you interacting with the world, which I think is pretty cool. Now, something that you lone wolves are going to like, the developer said it is easy to play alone or with a group. And I like this because a lot of things in GTA Online force you to do things in a group. And a lot of people didn't necessarily love that. So if you want to be that lone wolf outlaw, it looks like Red Dead Online is going to be a really good environment that will allow you to do just that. Now, another thing they mentioned is all the best elements of multiplayer in Red Dead Online are going to be combined with the best elements of GTA Online. So that's good news in general. Rockstar has had time to learn from the things they did well and the things they have not done well in all of their multiplayer experiences. In fact, I would even bet that they take from GTA 4's multiplayer too, that they learned from some of the things that worked well. Now, it will be interesting to see what sort of features we see that were in Red Dead 1's multiplayer, like proximity chat and stuff like that. Things that weren't in Grand Theft Auto Online. Will we see that in Red Dead Online? So that will be interesting to see. Now, Rockstar have mentioned that RDR 2 and Red Dead Online are separate products, just like GTA 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online are separate products. I'm not sure how that will encompass DLC. Probably similar to what we saw in GTA. Rockstar has also confirmed that Red Dead Online will be a change of pace compared to Grand Theft Auto Online. And this is important, and I really like this. Everything will be time/setting appropriate. So for example, Rockstar's not going to add a flying horse into the game or a horse with a rocket thruster. At least that's what they say right now. Because Grand Theft Auto Online started out pretty normally, and 3 or 4 years down the line, we started to see a bunch of crazy stuff being added. But I like that. Rockstar's not going to wackify this world just to sell horse cards or shark cards or something like that. And that's another thing we're going to be discussing as we get going on. So that's good news. Rockstar also says that the biggest DLCs of Grand Theft Auto Online, like heist and gun running, provided Rockstar with a template for what will work and won't work in RDR Online. That's good news. I'm hoping that Rockstar learned from the DLCs that the community really liked and learned what the community didn't like. And then they can sort of filter through that for Red Dead Online. And so the updates they put out will probably be the highest of quality. That's going to be great news. Another thing they mentioned regarding DLC, Rockstar wants DLCs for Red Dead Online to release quicker and be responsive to what people are enjoying. So hopefully Rockstar means what they say here and that we'll get updates sooner, hopefully more frequently, and they'll also listen to what people want. So if for whatever reason people really, really want to go in this direction, I'm hoping Rockstar say, you know, that's a good idea. Let's ultimately do that too. And one of the big points for Red Dead Online is going to be focus on role-playing and morality, which is something we saw in single player with the honorability and dishonorability. So I wonder if you're going to have sort of the same sort of choices, like be the good guy or the bad guy, and will that have an impact on the way other people see you and the way that NPCs see you as well. So that's all the information that came from the IGN article. I thought it was pretty resourceful. Now I want to talk about a couple of other things. You know, we talked about the release date and its relationship to Grand Theft Auto 5 and GTA Online, how that worked. Let's talk about a couple of other things as well. Will we see a trailer for Red Dead Online? I think the answer is yes. I mean, we saw Rockstar follow all the steps they did for GTA 5, you know, teaser trailers for single player, gameplay trailers. The only thing we haven't seen so far is a trailer for the multiplayer version. And I think we will eventually see that in some sort of newswire post that might come this week. It might come in a couple of weeks. Remember, Rockstar have given us the month of November, and it's only November 4th right now. So they've got, 26, 27-ish days to really do whatever they want to get this out. So it wouldn't shock me to ultimately see it happen at the very end of the month, just given Rockstar's history of doing something like that. I want to talk about that final point we discussed in the IGN interview, a focus on role-playing and morality. Let's start with morality first. Basically, it's just don't be a jerk. Now, Rockstar insider FunMW2 brought up a really good point. He tweeted out this the other day. He said the lasso should be disabled in online. The idea that you could encounter a neutral player, greet him, and one moment later you're hogtied by him to spend the rest of your life on top of his horse, only for him to throw you off a cliff, is scary. And he brings up a good point. He sort of made a follow-up to that a little bit later by saying, I agree that we should keep it and make it easy to break free. It's a great way to catch bounties, and in the same time, it's a serious topic in terms of balance. And that's an interesting point. How is Rockstar going to balance a lot of the things in Red Dead Redemption 2? The way Rockstar handled that in GTA Online is they just left a lot of it out. Like, for example, the stun gun. They just didn't include that in the game. Eventually, the railgun. They thought that might have been too overpowered. So that's one thing that you should expect, at least in the beginning of the game. I think Rockstar is going to play things more on the safe side, especially given everything that's happened to Grand Theft Auto Online with griefers and stuff like that. You would assume Rockstar will limit the potential griefing tools that will be in the game on day one, and they can always add them into the game if they feel like they found a really good way to balance it, or if they found that it might not be so overpowered after all. So that's the first thing to keep in mind. The next thing to keep in mind is role-playing. I wonder how this is going to work, and I think that's all going to start with our character creation. How is creating a character going to be? Is it going to be like Grand Theft Auto Online, where you get to choose sort of your lineage and your grandparents and your parents that determine your look, and you get to, choose what sort of skills you have? I think it would be interesting if you could modify your character to maybe have one trait over another. Like, for example, let's say you wanted to be more of a gunslinger. Then you would have better shooting stats. Let's say you wanted to be a hunter. You'd have better hunting or stealth abilities. If you wanted to be a better, racer, you might have better racing abilities or better bonding to start off with the horse. So that's something to think about right there. I wonder how Rockstar is going to handle the character creation system. I would find it highly, highly unlikely that they would go back to what we saw in Red Dead Redemption's multiplayer, where it's just like you choose a random character and you go. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be a vast improvement of what we saw in Grand Theft Auto Online. And the final thing I want to discuss today is microtransactions. Rockstar have confirmed they are going to be in Red Dead Redemption 2's multiplayer, but in what capacity and what are they going to be like? What are they going to be called? Are they going to be horse cards or bank bonds or something like that? I'm sure they'll have a fancy name that entices lots of people to buy them, and I wonder if they will work the same way. Will it just be a one-for-one exchange of real-life money for digital currency, or will shark cards or whatever the Red Dead equivalent is going to be only allow you to purchase certain things, whether it be cosmetic or things that don't give you an advantage? You know, are those funds going to be put in a separate bank account? There's a lot of questions with the microtransactions, how shark card money or purchased money is ultimately going to work. We know they're going to be a big part of the game, and it's also going to be different because, you know, we're so used to amounts of items in Grand Theft Auto Online. Like, for example, supercar will probably cost, you know, $1 or $2 or $3 million. You know, what is a stable going to cost? What is a horse going to cost? And how is Rockstar going to make that work in terms of, you know, making sure their microtransactions are a much better value than the way they were in Grand Theft Auto's multiplayer? Because that was the biggest gripe for me, and I know for a lot of people, is they just weren't worth it. I mean, to have to pay $100 for $8 million in game that can buy you like not even a yacht, that just doesn't seem worth it. So I'm hoping Rockstar worked out a lot of the kinks with microtransactions, and that's one of the big improvements I'm looking forward to in Red Dead Online. But anyways, that's all the information that I've got for you guys in this video today. Hopefully you did enjoy. Let me know your thoughts, opinions, and more on everything we know so far about Red Dead Online. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.